Hi, and this is Mike Garner from MrMikeGarner.com, witnessing the world here with another nugget of wisdom to help you overcome the obstacles that stand in the way of your health, your happiness and your success in life and business. And throughout my life, I think, looking at the trials and tribulations, the funs, the joys, the challenges and the stuff, just stepping back and joining the dots and having a look at what it's all about and trying to make sense of it, I realised that most things are learnings. You've probably seen those sorts of expressions on Facebook before, or if you've read any self-help books, that all challenges, all disasters, all the stuff that happens to you is offered to you to give you an opportunity to learn from it, and you should look for the silver lining, look for the gift in the problem, which is the learning. I very much believe that, and I know a lot of people watching this out there in my groups, and over the years I've met spiritual people and people who are into philosophy, theology, religion, have a similar viewpoint, but then quite often I witness very little evolution. I notice many years ago when I was teaching table tennis and then teaching martial arts and then teaching Reiki and tarot and hypnotherapy and personal development and spiritual development, so lots of people are seeking the certificate. They want the end goal. They're sort of outcome orientated, and they want to get there as quickly as they can so they can say, I've got this, I've done that, here I am, I've got the t-shirt, I've got the belt, I've got the certificate. And many years ago, I mean, it took me 7 years to get my black belt and probably 20 years to get, after that, to get my 4th Dan. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning with my Reiki, I'm still learning with my spiritual stuff. It's an ongoing evolution. People want this quick fix now. There's organisations out there called Udemy. These courses of certification of excellence, centre of excellence is another one. And there's many of them online where you can get certificates. And really, you know, the people who are offering these don't even know it's you doing it. You know, I could possibly fill in your answers and get you a certificate, and you could apply and get the certificate, and they've got no idea that it's you, me or whoever it is, and there's no checks, police checks, there's no quality checks. Basically you can get those certificates if you're good at repeating parrot fashion information, which is a bit like a university degree. Those people who are good at reading things and repeating things get certificates, and they're only repeating basically what is in the books, and who says what's in the books is right. So I'm witnessing this, and I'm also witnessing people who are what I call gurus. Some of them aren't even very good. Some of them are very good. I'm not here to criticise people, but I am just witnessing this and noticing that there's very little substance. There's a lot of bullshit out there. There's a lot of people who are impressed with bullshit, and they'll follow bullshit because it's the fastest route to get something which doesn't really add up to much. And then they'll go out with a certificate and maybe even share that bullshit with other people with no sincerity whatsoever. And even if they are sincere, there's no substance, there's no backup information, there's no continual professional development, CPD. And it's just worrying. But over the years, I've been on a bit of a mission to not worry about that and to set my own standards for me, and then to run courses for other people, trainings for other people, development for other people that works from the same values and ethics, which is quality, substance, make it real, make it usable, make it practical, and give people competence and confidence. How does this apply to you in life? Why am I making this presentation? Well, it's because you'll get value for yourself, and if you're learning something to share with other people, whether it's a product or service, you'll give them value, honestly. You won't feel like you're ripping yourself off. You won't feel like you've fallen short of a standard which you should be achieving, which honours your profession, your particular subject, your particular career path, your chosen hobby. And there's honesty and integrity in that, and integrity is where it's at, really. integrity in offering an honest service with value, with substance, knowing that you've changed yourself, and through the story of your change, you're able to change other people. And that's where you change from a guru to a duru, because you're actually doing it. And I've said many times, and my daughter Kat Garner's up against this all the time, people who are posting things, and then you look at them, and you know, we try not to judge, but you can't help but judge when 1 minute someone is putting out love and light, and next minute they're effing and blinding, or they're putting up racist posts or cruel posts, or posts full of self-pity, self-adulation, or they're looking for self-interest. I really encourage you watching this to be real, to be unique, to step out of this matrix of limited conditioned thinking. And if you are going to set yourself up in an industry, with a service, with a product, if you are going to be there to support and encourage other people, then work on yourself first. I'm a work in progress, so is my daughter. But and all the Reiki masters that we've qualified, all the hypnotherapists that I've qualified, all the people that I work with through personal and spiritual development end up, at least when I've said goodbye to them, shook the hand, given them a certificate with knowledge, competence, integrity, honesty, and a good level of knowledge that's proven. Do that for yourself. Whatever you do, do it well. Don't take a shortcut, because shortcut is short on power, it's short on knowledge, it's short on integrity. It's not seeking the certificate, it's seeking the gnosis, the knowledge. Because only with the knowledge and not the certificate can you do good. In America now, and it's coming over to Britain, Europe, and all over the world, and I'm seeing it here in Thailand, Asia, people are employed for personality. You can have certificates, but if you haven't got the integrity, the personality, the honesty, if you're not personable, if you're not working with your client's best interest to be the best you that you can be, then you're probably self-employable, but you're certainly not employable or useful to the people that I work for, which are the education authority, the health authority, the military, companies and corporations. Because these shortcut accreditations, these shortcut, unqualified, self-appointed governing bodies issuing Reiki certificates, hypnotherapy certificates, you can do a qualification in a weekend, a qualification in a day, a qualification in 3 months. It's just ridiculous. It takes 600 hours to get a basic qualification in any touch therapy, in any holistic therapy, in an academic skill set, in a health skill set, in a legal skill set. You can't do it in a weekend. You can't do it by reading a book. And you know, the proper industry understands that. You know, if you try and get a new DEMI certificate and go and work in a hospital, they're going to laugh at you. You need a degree. You know, the military won't accept it, and industry won't accept it. You couldn't work with the companies that I work for with those certificates, which is why I've never sought them, and I would never teach that sort of low standard of stuff. Don't, even if you get the certificate, those courses have value for introducing people into the soundbite something. But if you can get a child psychology diploma in 6 weeks, or call yourself a psychic counsellor in 6 weeks, or do an online course and you've never touched anybody, do a massage course or a Reiki course or a reflexology course or a chiropractor course, which a lot of these places say you can do, or you do an online hypnotherapy qualification, you've never hypnotised anybody in your life, you've never met anybody, you've never been supervised, you've never been checked, and there's no checks after your certification, then really you've got to ask yourself, where's the value in that? And there isn't, other than it's self-satisfying. It's all about ego, you're paying for it, they're offering minimum standard and no standard really. In life, whether it's this subject I'm talking about now, which is qualification, or whether it's anything that you do it fully, engage yourself and absorb yourself, immerse yourself in it with integrity and get the best out of it for yourself. And if you're going to sell that or use that in your profession or in your life, then you owe it to the people that you shared it with to be the best that you can be. And it takes weeks, months, and often years to get qualification, and yet I see people advertising themselves as masters of this, qualified in that, and ready to face the public. And quite a lot of people aren't even qualified at all. I know people who are on YouTube who are setting themselves up as self-appointed experts in things that they know very little about. They've read a book, they've seen other people, they're copying them. When people copy me, copy my daughter, and copy other people that are out there as qualified mentors and therapists, it's the best compliment ever. It honours me if you copy me and copy my daughter, but it concerns me in that a lot of people are turned away from Reiki because they've had Reiki by people who've got no idea what they're doing, and they go away unbalanced. They have hypnotherapy with people who've got no idea what they're doing, and they get their heads messed up, and they get anchored to some negative things, and they have negative experiences, and it's unsafe. You shouldn't play with the mind. You shouldn't play with the energy system. You shouldn't play with people's hard-earned money pretending to be qualified when you know that you're not. And this is what I'm witnessing. Now I'm over in Asia. I'm shortly to be back in the UK, and I'll be running courses. My daughter is continually running courses, continuing to run the groups that I set up many years ago, and she's doing really well doing it in her own way. And we tend to fail more people than we pass. I was very much the same when I did my martial arts. I would have 100 students in, and maybe 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 300 would get through to black belts. But in an industry where you can't fail people now, because you want the direct debit, you want to be paid, you want, if you like, the money coming in all the time, so you don't fail people. So it's a watered down syllabus with a poor standard so that everybody passes. I'm not saying that all martial arts instructors are the same. I'm not saying that all Reiki masters are the same. But it certainly goes on, and you know where it goes on. And if you think about it, if you had a business where you failed people, they would leave. Therefore, you've lost an income revenue. Would you fail them? Well, I did, and I do. And so does my daughter, Garner. And there's integrity in that and honesty in that, and I can go to sleep at night knowing that I'm doing the right thing for myself, for the standard, for the public, for society, for the universe. Be kind, be honest, have integrity, do things properly, do things fully, get the full knowledge, get the full power, and then share that standard. It's rare in a world where people want a soundbite. They want to say, I've done that, when really they just scratch the surface, and the power is in the full knowledge. The power is in the fulfillment of the dedication and the discipline and the learning and the difficulties in that. And that's what happens in life, that we have these difficulties, and so many people give up. They accept second best, and they don't like to be told, and they do, if you like, what they do on the soaps. They think that life's a soap opera and they're going to get away with it. They're going to come back every Wednesday or Thursday, every Monday or Tuesday, and continue to commit the same mistakes, and almost like you can become a celebrity. You can become popular as a celebrity status by being stupid, by being thick. It's quite funny to be thick. It's quite funny to swear. It's quite funny to be rude, to be obnoxious, like some of these judges on these shows. It doesn't work. It might work in celebrity TV land, but it doesn't work in industry. I don't know anybody who is rude. I mean, this image of Simon Cowell and Alan Sugar and these people who are out there being rude, and even Piers Morgan, they must be wonderful people. Because you get on in business, you climb the ladder to the degree that you can get on with people. So when you see these people shouting at people and being obnoxious, and these judges on, you know, Dancing on Ice and these other shows, they must be lovely people, and yet they're pretending for the television cameras that they are nasty judges. That's another matrix lie of society. And then people try and be divas. It's just an act. It's not real. Just like having a certificate that's not real doesn't work. Just like not being real doesn't work. Be real, be authentic, be the best that you can be. Do it properly, do it honestly. Know that when you go to bed, that you can sleep at night because you've done it right. And leave a legacy of sincerity. Create something in your life that is really something you can be proud of. And don't brag it. Don't fake it. Do it properly. And that takes work and effort, but you'll be rewarded for that massively, and so will the people who you share it with, because you've done it right, and they'll benefit from that. I'll leave it at that. I'm sure you'll have loads of comments, and I don't mind being controversial from time to time because my heart's in the right place and I can live with myself. Can you? God bless.